It is our favorite day of the week, Wednesday, and not only is it old comic book day, but it is new comic book day. That's right. We are starting to see new comic books on the shelf, other than just the whatever DC has going on with that other distributor. But we are getting them leaked out slowly. No new Marvel stuff, but there is stuff from DC and IDW and other small publishers. I think we're going to start seeing Marvel books next week. Is that right? I'm not sure. Let me know. Let me know in the comments while you're like, comment, and subscribing, like you're going to be doing anyway, obviously. Yeah, I think Marvel books start coming out next week. But I do have some old stuff that I picked up. Well, not really. I have one old stuff. So this is something that I'd ordered. Again, I had asked not just for back issues, but ordering some trades as well. I'm through all of the back issues I requested from local shops. I told them I'm not going to really be doing that anymore. I've got enough of that. I need to start reading through them. And also, since new comics are starting to come out, I'm going to be switching over on that. But I did have this, and there's one other that I'll get next week. But I got Aliens Omnibus Volume 4. And I've mentioned before that I love Aliens. This is just sort of that 90s. Oh, man. What is this? What is this? There's an alien on their side? Oh, God, I cannot wait to read this. This is going to be great. Oh, it's going to be so bad. Oh, they have it trained. It's serving them wine? What? Oh. Now, oh, man. Okay. I love Aliens comics. Oh, they're so great. I only had 2 actual new issues that I had subscribed to. Jimmy Olsen, which, as you should know, is the best comic on shelves today. You know this because I've told you many times. And Dungeons and Dragons, Infernal Tides. I've mentioned that the D&D books are on notice of getting canceled. We'll see. But at this point, like, why cancel? I mean, obviously, like, after this series, I would do it, but it might need to be evaluated. I also had a special order. I do have a new Marvel book, new to me, Marvel's X number 3, which I had missed off getting off the shelf. So they special ordered that for me. That's it. Light week, super light week. It might be that for the next couple of weeks as they trickle out those books. But I'm not going to go crazy with the back issues. I think I went crazy enough. I need to actually start reading through this, and I've been reading a little bit as I can. As you've seen, the stuff I've been getting, I've been kind of reading through. While there haven't been new comics out. New comics are light this week, so I can still get quite a few. Oh, hey baby. Okay, we got what's up, Wendigo? What's up? You want to come up here? Do you want to come up? No? You're just gonna hang out? Okay. Wendigo cannot decide if she wants to be on camera or not. Yeah, so now is my chance. While I'm not getting new old stuff, and new comics are still light, is my chance to at least maybe knock out some of this stuff. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So what did I read last week? I read everything I promised and then some. I did get through all of Usagi Yojimbo Volume 5. It's a chunk of stuff. Great. Oh, it's so great. If you all aren't reading Usagi, I know I've said it many times. If you don't read Usagi, this stuff is so good. And these complete sagas by Dark Horse are super accessible. Was it $25? Yeah, $25. $25 for each of these, and they're huge. So highly recommend. I read of Amazing Spider-Man from Epic Collection Volume 3. How many? What was it? 4 issues, I believe. Yeah, 4 issues of this. It was... Getting there. Issue 46, which is the first appearance of the Shocker. 47, which is the return of Kraven. 48, which is the first appearance of the second Vulture, Blackie Drago. And that's a 2-part story with 49, which is second Vulture and Kraven. So it's kind of a 3-part story. Kraven pops up at the end, but the first Kraven issue can kind of be read on its own. But he kind of pops up again pretty quick. All right, so then I read through my 2 issues of Captain Carrot. And the 7 issues of Spider-Man Marvel Team Up. These were really hit and miss. I'd probably say more miss than hit with these. These books are a little bit thicker. The ones I tend to enjoy more are like this, where there were multiple stories. The ones that were longer stories, they seem to drag on a little too long. But this was a really good one. It was one story which was Dracula and Doctor Strange, and one with the Incredible Hulk and Aquarian, who I'd never heard of before. But it was alright. This one with the Thunderbolts was the last issue. The one with the Thunderbolts was really good. And I think that's all that I had said I was going to read. But then I got done early, and I had a lot more time. So I said, like, this week I'm not working. So I decided to knock out some of my Spidey stuff, my general Spidey stuff. That is limited series and one-shots. So I read the 3-part Spider-Man Web of Doom. This was really good. This was Spider-Man webs up a criminal in his webbing, which lasts for an hour in his webbing, and he finds out later that criminal died while webbed up because the webbing did not dissolve. So he is accused of murder. And he has to figure out, one, is he responsible? Did something go wrong with his mixture of webbing? And then also clear his name. It was actually a really good story. I also read Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, which was awesome. This was so good. If you can pick this up, please do. It's a great story. It is... The first 3 issues are... story, like lost stories. All right, so the first one is close to when Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four first started, and then there's one around right after he had the black symbiote suit stripped off of him, and there's one that's around the time of the new Fantastic Four, and then all of these have a common thread going through them, with someone showing up sort of incidentally in the background that is sort of causing these problems. And then it all comes together in the 4th issue of who that was and what they were doing and why. It was, I don't know. It was just really, really good. There's this really, really touching moment between Peter and Sue Storm, where Peter's like, that, like, I hit on you sometimes really just to make Johnny mad, but you've always been like a sister to me. Like, you're very attractive, but ever since I've known you, you've been hitched to Reed, so I never thought of you in that way. So I could be myself around you without having to have be all fluttery and ooh, maybe I can go out with that or something like that. So this expressing of like I love you as a friend, and it's really nice to have you. And Sue comes back, and it's like, yeah, I like being able to just talk with you. You know, when I talk with the other members of the Fantastic Four, they're obviously like they're like family, so it's a little bit different, and they don't treat me the same because they're really protective of me. But you always treat me as an equal to that. Like it's this. If you can get this, it's really really good. I cannot suggest this enough. And then I read a bunch of one shots, which were kind of hit and miss. Spider-Man Aranya. I don't know a lot about Aranya. I've never read anything with Aranya, and this definitely is more of an Aranya book than a Spider-Man book. So I was kind of lost in what was going on. So I'm not going to say that the book was not good or was bad. It's just it wasn't for me, or I didn't have the background for it. Spider-Man Team Up Special, and this is a Marvel Age book. It's all ages. I think this would have served really well as a free comic book day book. There's a good message in here about saving the environment and all that. But I don't know. It felt like a PSA book, which is fine. It's okay to have a good message in a comic, but as a one shot, that's just its own sort of thing. It felt like it would have been a really good candidate for a Marvel Age new free comic book day book. The Marvel Knights Spider-Man Daredevil one shot. This was good. It wasn't Spider-Man and Daredevil teaming up. It was more Spider-Man and Daredevil happening upon the same sort of incident, and working two different angles of it unbeknownst to each other, and it all coming together. There's a good point in here of I think it's Foggy saying, or someone, no, I think is it Ben? It's Ben Urich talking to Daredevil and saying, like, you do all this good stuff, but you don't get any publicity for it. I can change that, not to become famous or whatever, but like get some recognition, and Daredevil's no whatever. So in the end, Spider-Man ends up getting all the credit for what was done. I Heart Marvel Web of Romance. It's a Valentine's Day issue. It's kind of sweet. It starts off with Spider-Man talking to the Mandrill. Well, the Mandrill's webbed up upside down, and they're talking to each other, and Spider-Man's talking to him, trying to get advice on what to get Mary Jane for Valentine's Day. It's actually a really cute, sweet book. Spider-Man Punisher Sabretooth. It was okay. Sabretooth seems kind of out of place here. And he is. But it's like, it's the same thing whenever Spider-Man and Punisher end up kind of working together. Spider-Man's like, no one dies, and Frank's like, stop me, and I don't know. It was okay. And the last one, this was so good. Another one, if you can get a hold of it, at your comic shop or wherever, do. It is The Short Halloween. Obviously playing off Batman's Long Halloween. This is actually written by Saturday Night Live alum now, Bill Hader and Seth Meyers. Where it's Halloween, and there is a drunk guy that is dressed as Spider-Man, and his friends are looking after him, but he gets away from them and he passes out, and then the actual Spider-Man gets knocked out, and they kind of get switched. So the not Spider-Man's friends pick up the actual Spider-Man to take him home and like put him to bed and let him wear off his hangover, but he's not actually hungover, he's just knocked out. And then the villains that are, it's a new set of one-time sort of set of villains that find the drunk dressed up as Spider-Man and take him for the real Spider-Man and capture him. And hilarity ensues. It's actually really, really good, and it has a kind of a sweet ending to it. But it's as you'd expect from Bill Hader and Seth Meyers. It's funny. So again, pick that up if you can. All right. So what are we doing for this week? So this week, I'm going to read the new books that I got, and the one that was ordered for me. I'm not going to read the Aliens Omnibus yet. I will read my 2-issue prescription of Captain Carrot. Amazing Spider-Man. I believe I'm going to read 3 issues of this. So this is a 3-issue, I believe it's all Kingpin arc. Issue 50, which is the first appearance of Kingpin in a very, very famous cover. Issue 51, which continues the Kingpin story. Issue 53, which I believe also another famous cover, tied up with J. Jonah Jameson. And yes, that is it. Those 3 issues. So 50, 51, and 52. Yes, to knock out that Kingpin arc. There's still a couple in here. There's Annual 4. And they also have an issue of Not Brand H. I think it's pronounced Not Brand H. I'm not real familiar with it. I know it's like a sort of a silly book. Or is it Not Brand Ek? I don't know. It's both in here. I'll save those for next week. Because I do really want to start knocking down some of these individual issues. So I'm going to go back to M2. And Amazing Spider-Girl. So I've read through all of them of Spider-Girl. She had Amazing Spider-Girl, which was 30 issues. And there's also a 4-issue mini of Spectacular Spider-Girl. I was going to say I'm going to read them all, but then I remembered that Del Falco, who does all Spider-Girl stuff, it's kind of Silver Agey in that it can be very wordy, which isn't bad. It's just it means it takes longer to read. So I'm going to do the first 20 issues of Amazing Spider-Girl. Hopefully, we'll see. And if I get on a roll and get extra time, then maybe I'll try to knock out some more. But this is a big chunk of stuff, especially for there's a lot of exposition panels and blurbs and whatnot in how DeFalco writes, at least how he writes Spider-Girl. But I'm excited. I love the M2 universe. I love alternate universes. I love Spider-Girl. I finished reading Spider-Girl a little while ago. I needed to take a little break from it, but now I feel that I'm ready to jump back in and completely knock out my Spider-Girl run and have everything read. So that is it. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Got a lot read last week and have a lot on my plate for this week. And that I'm hopefully, with my couple of extra days, and I guess Monday is a holiday, I'll have that off as well. I'll be able to get through that and maybe a little bit more. But I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, so we shall see. But that is it. Again, continue to stay safe. Let me know what you got for this new comic book day, and we'll see you next time. Later. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.